Hello and welcome to Spirit Among Us. Unfortunately, this world we live in is a very fallen world. There's all kinds of pain and destruction in our lives, in the lives of people we know, and just in the world in general, all around us. And what's even worse is that at the end of it all, when we've walked down the broken road and we've gotten to the end of our lives, we find ourselves at the door of death. We all understand this. Dying is part of the world we live in, part of our lives, and it is an unfortunate part of our lives. But we have been given hope. We know what comes after this life because Jesus has revealed that to us. When we follow Him, when we serve Him and live our lives for Him, we have eternal life. John chapter 11 verses 25 and 26. Jesus said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live. And everyone who lives and believes in me shall never die." Do you believe this? When looking at what Jesus is saying here, what Jesus is talking about, it becomes apparent that he's talking about both a physical death and a spiritual one. The second part of his statement is saying that we will never die. Yet in the first part of his statement, he says that even though we will die, we can live in him. So obviously he can't be talking about the same type of death. So the logical conclusion here is that in Jesus, we will all physically die. Our bodies will decay. We will all pass away. But if we are in Him, we will never spiritually die. Now the other thing is that this is implying that those who don't follow Jesus and don't believe in Him will die spiritually. So what exactly does that look like? What does it mean to spiritually die? Revelation chapter 21 verses 6 through 8. And he said to me, "It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty I will give from the spring of the water of life without payment. The one who conquers will have this heritage, and I will be his God, and he will be my son. But as for the cowardly, the faithless, the detestable, as for murderers, the sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars, their portion will be in the lake that burns with fire and sulfur, which is the second death." Here in the book of Revelation is described the second death, which I believe is the spiritual death that Jesus is referring to when he says that those who believe in him will live and shall never die. When we follow him and when we conquer, we have access to his godly heritage. We have lives secured with Jesus forever, secured in his kingdom. But if we don't follow him, if our hearts remain darkened and alienated from God, then our portion will instead be in the lake of fire. Now this is quite a sobering thought and can be a hard idea to accept at times as well. We don't want people to suffer and to face pain in an earthly way, which is temporary, never mind pain and torment in an eternal sense. But regardless, this is the truth, and this is what we have to be thankful for in Jesus. We have been saved out of this, redeemed. Those of us who know him have been purified and set apart to live in his glorious kingdom forever and ever. So this is the hope we have because of our God's love, that though we will all have to face the first death, because of the cross, we will never see the second death. Thank you for watching, and God bless.